Ah, ladies and gentlemen, what a comprehensive victory by Luis Enrique's PSG. I want to talk about this. And of course, like always, I want to see what you guys have to say about this in the comment section. Let me know if you've watched PSG versus Dortmund. That's the game that we covered on the other side of the coin channel. Obviously, this is Ms. TV Total Football, by the way. Welcome to Ms. TV Total Football. We want to talk about Luis Enrique. We want to talk about PSG, and we want to talk about the comprehensive victory that PSG had on Borussia Dortmund. It was total control. Honestly, this is probably the second time I've watched PSG this season. I need to watch them a lot more. Obviously, you guys probably would know Luis Enrique is a particular manager that I wanted at Chelsea Football Club for several reasons. Obviously, his ability to play possession-based football and, completely suffocate the opposition, but at the same time, build a team that is, very much conducive to play a massive attacking style of football. So, look, obviously he relies on quality, and that's the level of quality PSG has up front, much like the reminiscence of Barcelona when he controlled them a while ago, and he absolutely demolished football at that time with Barcelona, with the likes of Neymar, Messi, and Suarez. But this front line may not be the same as that front line, because obviously, how can you even think about having the same front line when you have someone like Messi? But this front line at PSG is quite dynamic, man. They are fast, they're robust, lots of technical ability with Mbappé and Ousmane Dembele, especially Mbappé. Mbappé, he's just an unbelievable footballer, man. Honestly, it's not just about the pace. It's not just about the goals. It's his technical ability. He's so technically gifted. It's not even funny. So look, of course, they have a very good team, but at the same time, the setup, the structure, the way Luis Enrique sets up, I've seen Dortmund lose games, but generally Dortmund, they're quite capable of playing possession-based football themselves. And I've not seen them for a long time being dominated in that manner. They just couldn't get out of their half. They were pretty much camped in their half, and it was all PSG, relentless. Every time PSG lost the ball, they won it back immediately, and then another wave of attack came in. PSG definitely deserved to be, at least a couple of goals up in the first half, but they just couldn't finish things off. And then second half, they finally got those goals, especially that goal for Achraf Hakimi was sensational. The way they just cut through Dortmund through the middle, and then Achraf Hakimi finds himself inside the box and slots that goal in. But the one player that really did impress me was Vitinha. So let's have a look. We'll talk about Vitinha a lot more. Let's have a look at how PSG set up. This is the Dortmund setup, by the way. So they had a 4. Was it 4? No, that's actually a 5. 5-3-2 setup with Schlotterbeck, Hummels, and Sule being the 3 CBs, and exactly that's how it was played. Wolf was the right wing back, and Reyerson the left wing back. They had Sabitzer, Chan, and Brandt in the middle, Kobel as goalkeeper, and then they had Adeyemi and Malan up front. They were really trying their best to find that counter-attacking move to catch PSG out, but PSG just watertight defense as well. This is how PSG set up: Mbappe, Kolomuani, Dembele. Zaire Emery is their academy product. Ugarte, Vitinha, the one that absolutely stood out for me. Achraf Hakimi was the man of the match. I think the official man of the match was Vitinha, but Football over here has given Achraf Hakimi 9 points. Marquinhos was sensational, so rock solid in defense, along with Skriniar and Lucas Hernandez with Donnarumma in the goalkeeping position. PSG has gone with a 4-3-3 formation. This is exactly how they set up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just showcase this to you. I found this so interesting, and at the same time, I can't wait to see a lot more of PSG, because I'm very much interested to see how Luis Enrique, works out in PSG, because obviously they've had a shaky start to the season, but I've got no doubt sooner or later you're going to see PSG absolutely ball out. So this is exactly how I saw this particular match. They pretty much camped in the opposition half with Vitinha and Zaire Emery playing in the half spaces. And many times Zaire Emery drove through this particular passage, and even Vitinha drove through this particular passage. Their left side, unlike Chelsea's left side, it was lit, with Vitinha, with Lucas Hernandez, Theo Hernandez's brother, another top player for them, and Mbappe just causing a lot of havoc on that left side, either going to the byline or sometimes cutting in. It was just a total handful. He got himself that penalty in the second half where he scored. Well slotted penalty, but the keeper went the right way as well. But Mbappe is another player. He's quite capable. They were fluid. They were chopping and changing. At times, Dembele came on the left side and Mbappe went on the right side, but predominantly Mbappe played on the left side. And Dembele played on the right, and Kolo Muani was just pretty much hovering around these areas. The key thing with this whole scenario is that every time PSG lost the ball, they were so quick to get that ball back from Dortmund. And I think this is one of the biggest traits of Luis Enrique's football, which is basically, just don't allow the opposition to have any sort of the ball. Like, every time they have it, that means that they have an opportunity to score goals. So try and win that back as soon as possible. And every time they lost the ball, let's just say for argument's sake in the match, there was a counter-attacking opportunity that was materializing from Dortmund. You've got Skriniar and Ugarte was sort of in that center, just in between Skriniar and Marquinhos. They were always covering nicely, and they stayed so compact in defense as well. They stay close to each other. Every single player stays close to each other, not allowing any large gaps between each other, which then creates a lot of confusion. Every time they were in defense, they were all close to each other. So it looked like maybe Dortmund, has a lot of space, but in essence, that space they just couldn't capitalize on anything, because ultimately, when the ball did come into dangerous areas, all of these PSG players, and look, even though Mbappe doesn't really help out too much with the defense, but even he was trying to track back as much as he could. Of course, Kolo Muani and Dembele was doing their level best, but it was literally the compactness of their structure which allowed them to negate any sort of danger that Dortmund was throwing out. So look, for me, it was a very comprehensive victory. Yes, the scoreline's only 2-0, but I feel like it could have been a lot more. And I'm very much interested to see how PSG does in this particular group of death, which has got AC Milan and Newcastle. So it'll be very interesting to see how they play against them. But I can only picture Luis Enrique's football just getting better and better. And this is why I wanted someone like him at Chelsea Football Club that has a style of football. Do you know what I mean? It's a discipline level of football. There's a system, and players need to follow that system to get the fruits out of the way they play football, and to get those positive results. And if you don't live by those rules, you just won't be in Luis Enrique's team. But once this Luis Enrique's team clicks, ladies and gentlemen, I've got no doubt they're going to be smoking teams. This is what a few of the people on social media had to say. Let me just go through some of these tweets with you guys. Vince, as you guys would know, is a very well-known Chelsea large account out there. He's saying Enrique's possession football suffocates teams. It's only a matter of time before PSG starts scoring goals regularly. And absolutely, man. Not for once did I think Dortmund was ever in that match. They tried, but they just simply wasn't going anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's MVP, it is Vitinha. By the way, Vitinha, let's talk a little bit about it. I didn't know much about this particular brother. Let me just have a quick look. Is he from Sporting? Vitinha. Someone was saying he had a very low release clause, and he was sensational. The way he was dribbling through the middle, his passing, his link up, his overall technical ability and footballing IQ was just great to see. He's the one that really stood out to me. I mean, you can imagine, obviously, PSG have got a lot of superstars, but to come out of that particular match and say Vitinha was the standout, that's saying something. 23-year-old, ladies and gentlemen, obviously now plays for PSG. 5 matches played, 1 in the Champions. He got himself an assist today. Let's have a look where he was playing last season. Pretty sure he was a Sporting player last season, wasn't he? Let's have a look. What's happened to this website? Come on. It's not that my internet's slow. There's something definitely wrong with this particular website. Any moment now. Come on. What's going on? Really? Finally. Finally. All right. So last season, ladies and gentlemen, Ligue 1, 36. Okay, he was already a PSG player last season as well. Where did he come from? Last season, Vitinha, 2 assists, 3 goals. Let's have a look. Let's have a look where Vitinha came from. 21-22 season. Liga Portugal. Thought so. Of course, Liga Portugal. And he was playing for Porto. Right. He was playing for Porto. Very, very tidy player, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely very tidy player. And the way PSG has put this particular squad together, it's looking very good. A mix of youngsters. As I said, Zaire Emery is their academy product, and he's still raw, but he looks like he's got the skill set to be a very good player. But that's how you do it, right? You put the young player amongst a lot of experienced players in the likes of Mbappé, in the likes of Ousmane Dembele, Marquinhos in the back, Skriniar, Achraf Hakimi. That's how you do it. You know, 1 or 2 young players to sort of ease them in. You know, 1 player from the academy to ease them in, as opposed to Chelsea, which just got a lot of young players. So there are some things that you need to see how the big clubs operate. You know, Chelsea Football Club, there are lessons to learn, man. This is how you build a squad. Oh, I know PSG haven't won, in the European stage as yet, and they could still struggle in the Ligue 1. But I feel like now they may just have found slowly the right ingredient. We'll see what happens with the Kylian Mbappé situation down the track, whether he stays in PSG or whether he goes in Real Madrid. But I think Kylian Mbappé seems quite settled now. I think he wanted to have the French connection up front with Moani and Dembele. I don't really think he appreciated Neymar and Messi too much. He wanted his French brothers to come in and have that French feel about PSG. And he's got that. And who knows, maybe he might just stick around now and settle down at PSG finally, as opposed to always having these controversial moments. But one to look out for, PSG, definitely. Very strong start. Ladies and gentlemen, you let me know how you felt about that. Let me know what you think about Luis Enrique's management style. Let me know what you thought about that particular match against Dortmund. And Vitinha as well, someone that really caught my eye. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time. See ya.